Hi everyone, it is Wednesday, March 16th, 2016, and this is episode 61 of Serenova Crafts. I'm your host, Jessica. I can be found as Serenova on Ravelry, Twitter, and Periscope, and as Serenova Crafts on Instagram. You can find the show notes for today's episode on my blog or in the Ravelry group, links down below. And I was going to try to do a intro video trailer thing, but I didn't quite settle on one I liked yet, so you just get my normal intro. The idea comes from Michael, the host of the Gaynator podcast. He uses iMovie to make his trailers, and I got the app and I've been playing with it, but the audio kind of died on my iPad yesterday. And since I don't have a Mac, I can't use it on my actual laptop. I have to use it on my iPad or my iPod, since I have an iPod Touch. And so, yeah, that's on hold until I either figure out how to make the audio work or do it on the iPod. So, yeah. Fun times there. There might be a few jump cuts in today's episode. I woke up with, massive allergies. And so I might have to stop and blow my nose a few times. So try to ignore the jump cuts. I'll try not to, interrupt sentences with blowing my nose. And I might sound a little stuffy too. And I'm not sick or anything. It's literally just allergies. I've been taking allergy medicine, but not every day. And I think it's hit that time of year. Excuse me, see it right there. Where I need to start taking it every day. So, for me it's just seasonal. It's not anything big. It's just like when the pollen count starts to go up in the spring or in the fall. That's when I get hit with it the worst. And then the middle of summer or the dead of winter, I'm normally fine. But, fact of life, allergies are a thing. At least mine are mild compared to some people. So I have no faux for you this week. I had hoped to have those socks done. But because I want to use all of the yarn to get the rainbow gradient, they're not done. So I'm just going to show them to you because, well, yeah. So here they are. They're getting really long. These are halfway to my knee now, right? Because you can see they're getting really tall. But I want to get to the blue. So what I'm doing is, I'm going to finish out the pattern repeat I'm knitting. You can see, this pattern. I'm going to finish the pattern repeat I'm knitting, and then I'm just going to rib until I have enough yarn left for the bind off, and I'm done. So next week they should be a faux. I really hoped they would have been a faux for this week, but no such luck. They are going to be a faux for next week. I haven't really worked on much else, so let me turn around and grab it, because it's in my purse. The socks that were in the naughty corner last week have now migrated back into my purse, because I frogged them and fixed the problem. Come here. Thank you. Okay. So these, as you saw last week, were taller, and actually had color stripes on them, and were also on double points, so there's that. But I had switched these to the wrong, size needles when I switched from double points to magic loop. So, yeah, I am just gonna stick on the double points. I don't do this a whole lot, but, I don't mind knitting on double points. That's how I started knitting socks, and I don't have a third, size US 1 circular to use for magic loop, so I might as well use the DPNs. I did do the ribbing differently this time around, and what I did was I did a twisted rib instead of a normal rib. The camera will focus. There we go. See, I did a twisted rib. Because normally with my ribbing, excuse me, it actually can look a little funky sometimes because I just, I don't know, the second knit stitch when I knit a ribbing, when I knit like a 2x2 ribbing, that final knit stitch before I switch to a purl always looks a little funny. I'm not sure why, but it does. But it doesn't happen in twisted rib. So I'm just like, I'll do twisted rib. What other whips? I haven't worked on much. I've been really focused on those socks, so I haven't done too much on literally anything else. Ravelry, where are you? Ravelry. Give me my project page, please. Okay. Yeah, these are the only things I've knit on in the last week. Also for this one, because the ball has a way to split the yarn, I actually split it into 2 balls so that I know, like, when I'm getting close to the end of one, and felt about right. Completely unnecessary to do, but I did it anyways, because I was caking up the ball. Because it was one of those store-bought ones that you can just pull the center out of and knit from it, but because I pulled enough out of the center and I couldn't get it back in, and it was going to collapse and stuff, I just caked it up. So, that, I did start something new yesterday, because I'm a doofus, because I need another project. And it's not knitting, actually, it's crochet, but yeah. So I have all of this green yarn, courtesy of my grandmother, and I have 3 shades. It's the lightest. Then I have this shade, then I have this shade. So, if I hold them up together, you get a gradient green, right? She was originally going to do a knitted blanket. And I actually have the pattern, which is a newspaper clipping. Yeah, that was what she was going to use to make the blanket. And, using size 10.5 needles, she wrote on it in pencil. But I don't want to make a blanket, like, with those 3 colors in knit. And this is like a worsted, almost a rawn. It's, the actual yarn is older than I am. And it's Luxuria Knitting Worsted. It's a Bernat thing. The dark color is evergreen. Then the middle color is almond green, and this lightest color is bud green. It's master dyed, all virgin wool, permanently moth-proofed. Yeah. That's a thing. So, you know, and it's just, yeah, it's old. It's old. You can tell by the label it's old. But I inherited a lot of stuff from Grandma when she moved, and so, I'm trying to use some of it. And so, I decided, I was on the VKM this week, and I was chatting with the ladies, and I was thinking about what I was trying to do with it, and because I don't have as much of the lightest color as I do with the other 2 colors, I decided I was going to do a giant, like, granny square throw, right? And that I was going to use the lightest green in the center, and just go until I couldn't get another full, you know, round out of it. Right, because here's where my round starts, right? So I'm like halfway around. Well, not quite halfway. So, like, until I couldn't get another full round, I would go until I couldn't get another full round of the lightest green, then switch to the medium green, then go to the darkest green for the edge. And I would just use each one until I didn't have enough to get a whole round anymore. And so that's what I'm doing. This is just a granny square. And of course now I'm working on it because it's in my hands, right? Because, you know. And I can crochet pretty quick, actually. And this is just all double crochet. That's American double crochet, not European double crochet, because they're different. Because you have to be careful with terms. But I used the granny square version they have on Craftsy. And so, I hyperlinked it, in my project page for this on Rav, because I'm not using a pattern from Rav specifically. I'm just like, I want a granny square, so I just Googled granny square, and I like the look of the Craftsy one, so that's what I did. And so, and now just crocheted on that because I'm an idiot. Not that I'm an idiot, but yeah. So I just linked the one I'm using so I don't remember which one, because I have another one where I'm doing it slightly differently. Where you chain in between each, like, section here. So, like, in between, so, like, where my fingers are is where a chain would be. And so, yeah, but I have another one I'm working on that's just a giant granny square, and it's getting big, actually, like, really big. I haven't worked on that one in a while, but, that one's out of care in 1 pound, and I'm just going until I run out of care in 1 pound, and I have 2 things of that color, so it's gonna be big, like, fit the bed big. This one is going to be more like a lap blanket or a small throw. So, that's it. Oh, and I found, I actually had to throw it out because it was in such bad shape, but Grandma was apparently going to make a fuzzy hat. And Oh, just ripped. Shit. That's what it gets for being an old newspaper clipping. Oops. I'll scan it in and it'll be fine. But I had to throw it out because actually the Angora was starting to completely disintegrate because the yarn was probably 40, 50 years old, and it was just, it hadn't been stored properly. It's been in plastic bags for years. Like, the clear plastic bags were yellowing with age, okay? And I pull it out and it just starts to fall apart in my hand. So I had to throw it out because I'm like, I can't salvage it. The yarn's literally coming into pieces in my hand. It was 100% Angora too. This is like this horrible mint green though. Like, oh my god, Grandma, what were you thinking? But, you know, it was probably the 60s and that was probably what was in fashion, so. Always good. You know. The whole reason I'd even decided to start the green napkin thing was I went through my worsted bin, which you can see behind me on the floor here. That's my bin of worsted yarn. Actually, the yarn sitting on top of it can fit in the bin. I just haven't put it back in yet. But I was trying to decide what to do with this green, but I'm like, what am I going to do with this green? Like, I have no clue, right? So then I decided, oh, I'll just crochet this thing, right? And I do have, I think it's a sweater's quantity. I'm like a medium-ish, depending on the sweater. And I have 4 things of this really deep purple wool yarn. And it's nice yarn. It's, I think, a Sears brand yarn from back in the day, but it's nice. But I have 4 those things, those, like the store-bought skeins that, like, you know, you pull from the center and they're these style things, right? These. I have 4 of these. In purple. All the same color. Unlike that stuff where I have 3 colors there. I have a dark, a light, and then the medium. And I'm thinking I'll make a sweater with it, but with the yardage, it's a little tricky. I could probably do a vest without worrying about it, but the sleeves are the hard part. Maybe if I made it a little short. I am short torsoed, so I don't necessarily need the length in my body, because actually, like, I mean, my waist is here. I have a very short torso for my body height, and so, I actually don't need as much length here as a normal person does, so I'd actually probably be able to cut a sweater short to make it to fit me. So I could actually probably eke out a full, like, arm, like, cardigan out of it. Or maybe a pullover. I'm not sure I'd want a pullover, though, but it's actually a deep color, and so, I could just grab it to show you, but I'm going to be lazy. I don't feel like getting up and digging in the bin to get it out. So I'm thinking about doing a sweater with that, because it is a sweater's quantity of yarn. Now, my grandmother's smaller than me, so for her, this would have been a great first sweater. I'm a little larger than she is, so I'll probably be able to eke out a sweater. I think it's in my stash on Rav. If it is, I'll link it for you guys to see, because, you know. But, like, sometimes trying to find this yarn to stash it is really difficult, because it's all so old. Like, stuff from my grandmother is all so old, and I, like, have to look up what it is and try to find it and be like, is it this one? Yes. So it's Sears Knitting Worsted, which apparently is, I have about 1,100 yards of it, so theoretically that's enough for a sweater. It's worsted, so theoretically that's enough for a worsted sweater in my size. It can be a little tricky. It's kind of, like, close, and I definitely couldn't crochet it, because crochet uses so much more. Why is my picture lagging on the computer? I hope this is fine when I go back and watch it. Fun times there. You know, but there's probably possibilities for 1,100 yards of worsted weight as a sweater, you know, because that's a thing. And of course now I'm on Rav looking while I talk to you folks. Because I can, and that's what I'm doing. But, you know, I just want to get an idea of, let's do cardigans. And let's do cardigans in my library. Which is always good. 20 matches for, like, 900 to 1,200 yards. And why are the photos not loading? Pictures, load, please. It's really weird that the pictures aren't loading. Though my computer's been messing up a little bit more recently, so once I get a job, I can get a new computer. So frustrating. And, like, I've done unemployment workshops this week and all that stuff, and I'm helping 100 Ravens this week wind minis. I helped yesterday wind minis for the show they're going to be at this weekend in Madison, Wisconsin. If you're in the area, go check them out. And then they're going to be at Stitches South the first weekend of April. And Ralph Lauren's taking forever. I don't know why. And excuse me for the yawn. I could not wake up. I had to drag myself out of bed this morning to do this recording. You're lucky I got dressed. I could have totally just stayed in bed. I was so tired this morning. It's not even funny. I finally got refills of, well, not refills because they're not prescription, but I take vitamins just because I know my diet isn't the best and I know I need them, plus other reasons. So I finally went and got more of all my vitamins. So I really should start taking them again because I was out for like a week and a half. And I've noticed that when I do take them, I'm much more awake in the morning than when I don't. And considering I had to drag myself out of bed this morning, I should probably start taking them again. So, yeah. I got clothes at Target yesterday. I'm just trying to find things to talk about now. Because I waited for Ralph to load, and it's not loading, and it just loaded really funky. Like something's up. I'm just gonna start and try again, and maybe it'll work before I stop recording. But no, seriously, I was at Target because, on Monday night, I've gone with Kevin to the other Target, because there's two within reasonable distance, and I got a moleskin on sale for, $14 when normally they're $20, and this is a dot grid. This is a dot grid, not, a lined or a, graph. And that's what's in the bullet journal, which actually I've been bad about the last couple of days, but you can see it's a dot grid, and so, but you can just write on the lines like normal. And so, I bought another one, as a backup-y kind of thing. But I already had one. I have a different size one. So now I have two unopened moleskins, and then my current bullet journal. And, yeah. So, that's always fun. Though this is a different brand. It's not a moleskin. This isn't a moleskin. This is a Lettrum. 1917 is the brand. I kind of just have a thing for notebooks. I just like having notebooks and collecting them, and I just end up with a ton of notebooks. Like, seriously, I just end up with a ton of notebooks. It's just a thing with me. I end up with notebooks. Woohoo! It finally loaded! Yay! Let's see. Oh, there's a few things within the range. Eyelet V. That one's actually a short sleeve cardigan. That would work. Also the burdock. That's a November knits. Maybe even the Gramps cardigan. Or a pumpkin ale, but that's a 3/4. I don't like 3/4 sleeves. How much yardage does Dark and Stormy take? Because see, now I'm looking and now I'm talking to you folks, so I talked to about it. So the Eyelet V is like a short sleeve, just, cardigan but it's got a deep V neck and it's got a wide collar, and it's just like stockinette with ribbing. The burdock has a really interesting pattern to it, but it's an open front, so, like, you don't need the huge button band and stuff. But again, that's 3/4 sleeves, too. I hate 3/4 sleeves. They drive me bonkers. Cause, like, 3/4 sleeves hit you right here, right? And I either want something to come down to, like, here, like, over my wrist, or I want it above my elbow. Like, having something here, I either try to push it up or try to pull it down, and it drives me bonkers. I can't stand it. I have the Dark and Stormy. I could do that. That's only, no, I need 1,300 yards for my size. Oh. That doesn't work. Probably get away with the Eyelet V, but, could I do? Oh, I have I have Botanical Knits. There might be something in there. Because those came up. Because I looked through my library. So, she doesn't give yardage. She just gives, Well, it's 925 to 1,700. So, the 38.5 inch, because the 35 wouldn't fit me. That's too small. But 38.5 might. Do I have the book? I have the book. I can check it in the book. She'll give the yardage in the book. Because I have the physical book. This one's 37, 38 again. Yeah, I might be able to do this one too. That's from Botanical Knits too. Oh, but it's all reverse stockinette. Oh, that's the worst. Let's see what's not in my library. And see, now I'm just talking to you folks. I'm just talking through this to myself while I do this. I know I'm being recorded and all that good stuff. Yeah, I should just actually just stop recording and just, you know, just stop and look at sweaters and stuff. But, you know, now I'm thinking about it and it's on my mind and blah, 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 blah. You know how it is. So anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. I have to cut a couple minutes out because I've had to blow my nose a lot. You can probably tell I'm stuffed up. VKN tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, right. Coupon code. Woo, woo. Flashy noises. Does that make any sense? Flashy noises? But, I do have a coupon code for my group for the Tangled Skeins CA, which is Sue from Two Tangled Skeins podcast, her Etsy shop. It's actually in my Ravelry group. I have it listed there. Where is it? Coupon codes. It's a locked thread, but she's listed, and it is, Serenova 15, and that's good through the end of this month for 15% off all orders over $10. So, go check out her shop. I don't have any bags of hers yet, but one is coming. Because we did a swap. I sent her an official bullet journal, and she sent me a bag. So, well, and I also sent some other stuff. I sent, like, minis and tea and whatever, right? So, I should have a bag of hers soon. I will show it to you when I get it. Sue, if you are watching, no rush. Take your time. I know you are busy. You have a full-time job and kids, and no rush. Just talking about it, right? I always forget to mention the coupon code, but coupon code, I have one. It's a thing. There's a coupon code. It's linked in the thread in the Ravelry group. Thank you for watching. If you are a new viewer, thank you for lasting this entire time. If you're a returning viewer, you know this is kind of my normal thing. Yeah, like, subscribe, comments are all appreciated. Come join the Ravelry group. If you have any questions, I do have a thread in the Ravelry group. Ask me anything. You can ask me on YouTube as well. You can send me a private message. I'm easy to contact. Feel free. Twitter's probably Twitter's probably the slowest way to get a hold of me, because I don't check that much. I mainly just shove my Instagram pictures on Facebook, so, I normally shove my Instagram pictures on Twitter. I can talk, I swear, it's a thing. So if you, PM me there, it might take a while, but most other stuff I'm pretty good at responding to. So, if you have any questions you want to contact me, feel free. Totally cool. And yeah, I think I'm good for now. I think I'm done. VKN tomorrow night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is -5 GMT. And, yeah, I have D&D tonight. Should be fun. I get to shoot things. I'm a ranger. I have a bow. Okay, now I'm just rambling. I really didn't get enough sleep. I'm rambling. Alright. I will see you guys next week. Have a good one. Bye!